Well, the Braves are in the playoffs, the wild card play-in game anyway, and can they win it Friday night to advance? Plus, is Paul Johnson on the hot seat at Georgia Tech after losing to Middle Tennessee State?
That was a tough loss for them.
It was.
It was a tougher loss from Miami, but still tough.
You love your Canes.
I do love my Canes. Well, Fox Sports 1670's Bill Shanks and our own Tucker Sargent duke it out in this week's Rant and Rave.
Rant and Rave for the week, a little bit of baseball, a lot of football. Let's get with issue one. The Braves in the do-or-die game on Friday. Can they win it? Well, I'll tell you what, Tucker, Chris Mellon's pitching, so you got to give him a chance. And I think they can pull this off. It's going to be tough facing the Cardinals, but they owe the Cardinals a little payback because of last year. And I know the Braves have got to score some runs, but with Chris Mellon on the mound, can you really bet against them?
Yeah, really. He's won, now 24 straight games when he's starting. Look, the Braves this year have finally gotten on a run, and towards the latter part of the season, instead of falling off like they did last year and like they did in previous years, Bill, they're on a roll this year. And I think with Chris Mellon starting, the Braves knock off the Cardinals and get into the next round of the playoffs.
Now to football, where there's a lot of trouble at Georgia Tech after their bad loss the other night to Middle Tennessee State. They gave up 49 points. Does this put head coach Paul Johnson in jeopardy of losing his job? Well, probably not. Probably what's going to happen, well, likely what's going to happen is that Al Groh, the defensive coordinator, he's the one that's going to lose his job at the end of the year because this is all about the defense. Yes, you can have questions about the offense all you want, but the problem is when you're giving up 49 points to Middle Tennessee State, you're the problem, Al Groh.
Yeah, Al Groh maybe has 1 year left. Maybe at the end of this year, he's probably not going to be there next year. Paul Johnson, you know, he's got the triple option offense, which is a good thing because it's different than what you normally see. But in his first year, he went 20. In his first 2 years, he was 20-7. And the last 2 years, he's been 16-15. And with going to Clemson this week, another loss likely ahead. He's got to make a change. And Al Groh, a defensive coordinator, he's got to get out of there. Or Paul Johnson's going to be in jeopardy of losing his job also.
Well, the best way for a head coach to save his job and get some job security is to change coordinators, and that's exactly what he will do. All right, now for the predictions for this week. Georgia and South Carolina in Columbia on Saturday night. The Bulldogs are undefeated, and sure, they gave up 44 points to Tennessee the other night. But look, this is going to be a great matchup here. Georgia's running backs, Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall against Marcus Lattimore for South Carolina. Should be a great game. And, of course, it's going to be the toughest game for Georgia all year, but I'm taking my Bulldogs.
Yeah, of course you're taking your Bulldogs. I'm going to go against you here. South Carolina is going to beat Georgia Saturday night, Bill. Mark it down. You're going to come in here next week with your head hanging. Georgia's going to have a loss in the column for the season. South Carolina's got it going on, and Steve Spurrier's their coach. They're going to have that home crowd, loud atmosphere, college game day. Give it to them. The Gamecocks are going to head on to Atlanta after beating Georgia.
Oh, you're killing me right there. By the way, how's Auburn doing? All right, let's talk now finally about the NFL. Falcons and the Redskins. Falcons undefeated. They'll stay undefeated because the Redskins are beat up, they're hurt, and even RG3 cannot beat the Falcons.
I'm going to agree with you. You saw Cam Newton put up a close fight against the Falcons last week. But as I said in our Rant and Rave last week, the defense gave it up on him. Of course, Cam Newton fumbled at the end, but it was the defense is the reason the Falcons ended up winning that game. They allowed too many big touchdowns. And with RG3 at the Redskins, he's a game changer and a playmaker also, but his defense isn't that great either. They're beat up. And the Falcons are going to escape another close win because RG3 is going to do well, but that defense is going to lose them the game.
We'll see you on Friday night for high school football highlights with the End Zone, brought to you by Safe Auto.